The Lakers have renounced Julius Randle, making him an unrestricted free agent, telling ESPN that. I just wanted to add that in. Go ahead, Max.
Yeah, no, Randle, Randle, I thought had very limited value, and if he had real value, they may, obviously they're showing you the kind of value they think he has, and they can see him up close better than anyone else. But go ahead. Sorry, Molly.
No, that was it. The one thing I wanted to ask you, Windy, though, a lot of people felt like LeBron played the best basketball of his career this year. He's 33, turning 34. Obviously, he signed a 4-year deal. But how much longer do you think he can even play at this level?
Yeah, nobody knows the answer, Molly. He's been incredibly able to avoid injury. Maybe 2 years, maybe 1 year, maybe 4 years. I don't know. I would say this, though, if I were the Lakers, I do think they have to pay attention to LeBron's window here. Now, they've been afforded the luxury of not having to worry about his free agency. That's not something the Cavs have been able to do very often. They've always had to worry about his free agency. So the Lakers don't have to make short-term moves, and that's a great position to be in. But the pressure that they have is the clock, because LeBron is great, and you want to take advantage of his window. And so that's one of the things that they've got to weigh as they consider Kawhi Leonard. Do they feel like they have to make hay with these first couple years of this deal, because maybe in the back end of it he won't be able to carry the same load that you're going to ask him to do? So these are all things that we're going to have to see. This is all brand new for the Lakers. But as we sit here and look at this roster right now, it's a good team because it has LeBron. It is not a great team, and I think that's just a fair way of saying it.
An aside might have nothing to do with anything, but I'm going to ask you anyway. How safe is Luke Walton? I asked that question because I've watched the team improve. I've watched young players improve under his tutelage. But I'm also thinking about an individual who's in Montana, who has a connection to Jeannie Buss, who's accustomed to coaching champions, who champions like Shaq and others have raved about. Just chilling at home, no longer obligated to running the New York Knicks, of Phil Jackson. And tell me that Luke Walton is secure, or is that something that we can see revisited in the future, Phil Jackson returning to L.A.?
Well, first off, I think Phil Jackson's still getting ridiculous checks from the Knicks, so congratulations to him.
Yes, he is.
Secondly, LeBron does not like to get involved in coaching decisions. He will sort of passively, aggressively do it, nor would he make a free agency decision based on a coach. I'm sure he likes Luke, but that's not why he came to Lakers. But when it comes to Phil Jackson, this I can state unequivocally. LeBron doesn't like Phil Jackson, has no interest in him, has taken direct jabs at him before, doesn't like the way he treated Carmelo Anthony. Maybe he, has respect for his accomplishments, but certainly doesn't respect the way he looks at the game right now. So I feel comfortable to say that you will not hear LeBron talking about Phil Jackson in a way that would involve having him come coach him. Well, I feel confident about that.
I'm fully aware of the posse comment. I just needed confirmation, Brian, because when I'm doing radio and what have you, I get asked those questions. I know that's true, but I had to hear it from you, sir. Go ahead, Max.
Brian, Vegas has the odds very high that the Lakers win a championship. I think they're third highest. Stephen A. brought it up earlier.
Second best odds, tied with Boston, Max.
Second best.
Yeah.
Right, tied with Boston for 2-3. Do you believe that, considering what you said about their roster, that is more of a reflection that Vegas believes that the roster will change, especially maybe with Kawhi? Or do you think that reflects the idea that this roster, as constructed because of LeBron's presence, can actually challenge for a championship?
I think it shows that there's a lot of Laker fans who want to put down money irrationally on their team because they're excited. And Vegas is balancing their liability. That's what I think it is. And to be honest with you, 7-2 odds for the Lakers, it's a terrible bet. Because you should be getting at least 15 or 20 to 1 with where this team is right now. I wouldn't go anywhere near that bet.
But aside from, you're absolutely right. Vegas is kind of trying to judge the wisdom or foolishness of crowds with their odds. I like limit the liability, all those things. I agree with you. But also there is some kind of predicting in it in terms of what the Lakers might look like. It seems to me Vegas is saying, we bet that the Lakers are going to pick up Kawhi Leonard. You don't see that at all?
Well, I'm only going to judge what the Lakers have done, and I would say it's July 2nd. Let's wait and see. But as we sit here on July 2nd, they're not better than the Warriors. They're not better than the Rockets. I don't necessarily think that they're better than the Jazz. I don't necessarily, I want to see, some of these other teams. But in my mind, they're 5th or 6th right now in the Western Conference with their talent.
Windy, I understand you're not putting all your chips in on the Lakers just yet. You're a smart man. I also want to add that Adrian Wojnarowski also reporting that Rajon Rondo has also agreed to join the Lakers as well, gentlemen. So making moves as we speak. Windy,
no one will shoot on that team.
What are they doing?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
What have we?
What?
I will say this. LeBron thinks. This is the first time hearing about this. I'm reacting to this in real time.
I love it.
LeBron respects the hell out of Rajon Rondo. When LeBron talks about, he talked in the finals about how you need to have intelligence to beat the Warriors. You can't just have good players, and you want to have competitors. And he was kind of implying that not everybody he played with was a competitor. Rajon Rondo is one of the smartest and most competitive players you can have. But if we've learned anything in the last 15 years of watching LeBron James play, you've got to have shooters on the court with him. The game with where it is, he has to have space. You have to stretch the floor. The best thing, with the best the Cavs ever were, was when he had 4 shooters on the court with them. The Miami Heat pioneered small ball in ways that with Chris Bosh moving out, they've signed guys in the last 3 days. None of them can shoot. Now,
but
again,
D-Wade couldn't shoot.
Yeah, but they pushed Chris Bosh out to the 3-point line and pushed Shane Betty out to the 3-point line and had Mario Chalmers out there, and that was 6-7 years ago. In this particular case, D-Wade didn't work so well with the Cavs because he couldn't shoot. They were trying to figure out ways. They're beg, borrowing, and stealing, trading away first-round picks to get shooting. Like Lonzo Ball and Rondo, two guards who can't shoot. That's very difficult. Lance Stevenson, not a 3-point shooter. Who's making the threes? Who's making the shots? I'm fascinated by this.
KCP shot the 3. Hey, Brian, KCP shot the 3 well.
The Lakers were the second worst 3-point shooting.
Later in the year.
The Lakers were the second worst 3-point shooting.
Lance Stevenson has shot in the past.
Lance Stevenson shot 29% last year. The Lakers were the second worst 3-point shooting team in the league. So you think Lance Stevenson's going to shoot 42% with LeBron?
Guys, this one's to be continued.